I care about climate justice and a living planet. You are not mature enough to tell it like it is. Even that burden you leave to us children.
Climate action! Now! Climate action! Now! There is no planet B! 1, 2, 3! There is no planet B!
So often are the voices of children and teenagers silenced. When we open up about struggling with mental health issues, we are labelled overdramatic and sensitive. When we open up about sexual orientation and gender identity, we are called too young to know or too politically correct. When we open up about sexual harassment, we are labelled as fragile or unable to take a joke. And that's why I'm so glad to see so many young people here today making our voices finally heard and standing up for what's right. It's about time.
There is strength in coming together with parents around the world, all doing their utmost to protect their kids' future. I feel that the adults have a responsibility to use our voices to protect the next generations. I also feel that those of us in countries where we are safely able to call for real action have a responsibility to do so as loudly as we can. The climate crisis is a thing that threatens people I love. It is no longer far into the future or happening far away. My kids, your kids' lives will be affected by the climate crisis. Our love for our kids, for the next generation, is an important motivating factor, and parents are everywhere, in all organisations, in all boardrooms. This Parents for Future group, we're trying to engage people in taking action on climate as guardians of the next generation, first and foremost, whatever your job title. We'd love to have more of you involved. We've got a local Facebook group, Parents for Future Oxford. Please come and talk to us. We're over there in the regeneration area that was just mentioned. This evening, we're organising a cycle action jointly with XR. So if you're interested to join a very family-friendly cycle action, we're meeting at locations all around Oxford, cycling into the city centre and doing a masked bike ride. Come and chat to us if you want to know more. And we've also got postcards. If you'd like to send a postcard to the Environment Minister today, or draw a picture, please come and have a chat with us and fill in a postcard.
Oxford Montessori Primary, come here. Everyone wave your flags.
There is no planet B. 1, 2, 3. There is no planet B.
action!
When do we want it? Now! What do we want?
Climate action!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Climate action!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Climate action!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Climate action!
When do we want it? Now! What do we want?
Climate action! Now!
What do we want?
Climate action!
Do it for David! 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 Do it for David!
We need to show the government that we're not going to let them not do anything about the climate because it's getting out of hand, and so by striking we'll show them that it needs to be taken seriously because so far they haven't done enough.
Our generation, this is what we have to fight for. This is the thing that will affect us. It will affect every generation after us. It's the most important thing that we have right now. It's the thing that will affect us most.
What do we want?
Climate action!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Climate action!
When do we want it? Now!
I think we should just raise more awareness so everyone walking past knows climate change is happening right now.
This is what democracy looks like. This is what community looks like.
We are burning trees and we are dumping oil in the oceans. We are right now burning the Amazon rainforest, which I am not happy with. And we shouldn't really be doing that, and we should just if we start undoing that, then we can turn back to what we were a couple of years ago, because a couple of years ago we weren't in as bad situation as we are now. As in a couple of years, we won't really be able to come back from this. Stop what you're doing and make a change already. And make the world better. We're hardly breathing out here.
We walked out of school today, so it really shows that in order to get any kind of recognition, we have to put our education on hold to get any kind of recognition.
And the schools don't listen either. They're not supporting us. We're going to go back and get in big trouble, but it's what you got to do because otherwise it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I agree with both of those statements. I mean, we were told that we weren't actually allowed to come here and that we had to stay in school if we wanted to protest, and that was just stupid. I mean, we have to show the world that we know what we're doing and we know what we want.
Stop ignoring what's happening. It's obviously an issue. Thousands of people have turned up today, not for nothing. It's an issue.
Put the money aside.
Yeah, I think also Boris Johnson needs to know that we want this. I mean, we're going to be the ones who are going to be trying to face it later, so why do it later when we can do it now?
Exactly.
This is what community looks like. This is what community looks like.
What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want?
1, 2, 3. There is no planet B. 1, 2, 3. There is no planet B.
The younger generation are going to be worse off than we are. So there's supposed to be more plastic in the sea than fish by at least 2050, and that's not how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to grow up with the world being as it has been before. So climate change is destroying that, and it's not giving us a future.
I'm really scared because I feel like I shouldn't have to do this. Honestly, if I could, and if the world was in a situation where I could just stay at home, do homework, not have to worry, because the worrying, it's just so scary, because you don't know if you're going to grow up, you don't know if you're going to have children, because you just don't know what's going to happen, because no one's paying attention to it, no one cares about it, except for everyone here. But the governments, it's like they don't care about the children.
I think that future's I feel like I'm scared about it but then again I think that everything might be alright if people do more about it, and so everyone that cares are doing their bit to help it, so hopefully everything's going to be alright.
For me, the significance is it builds on what happened in April. So in April, we were in London for about 10 days, and we were working on those 3 demands I mentioned earlier. And so over 50% of local councils are now saying they're committed to a climate emergency. What we now need to do is keep the pressure on, because words aren't enough. What we need to do is see the actions. So, there are some councils that are setting up sort of citizens' assemblies, but they're not legally binding, they're advisory. We need to keep pushing to make those things so they are legally binding. So I think it's the next push. It's saying, yeah, we know that local authority and governments have declared this climate emergency. Now it's time to act. It's not just words. So I think the significance is it's to cement that commitment and make that commitment really real.
I'm EJ Fawcett, I'm 17 years old and I'm an activist with Oxford Youth Strike for Climate. We've been holding a big rally here today, we've done several marches and it's just been a really great day. We've come together, we've shown the government that we care and we let them know what our demands are. We need adults to save us. A lot of us cannot advocate for ourselves in the same way that adults can. So this was us showing the government that this is what democracy looks like and we will be listened to.
Save the earth! 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 Save the earth!
We shouldn't have got them in this situation where they're literally having to take to the streets to plead to the government to take action on their future. And I find it quite amazing that this is what they've been driven to. They shouldn't need to be here, not because they need to be at school, but just they shouldn't morally need to be here.
Shouldn't have had to.
Shouldn't have had to, so I want to support them in every way I can.